Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. A lot of people are asking if I can do a video on LaVar and Lonzo Ball and the new basketball shoe that's being put out by this family. If you don't follow professional sports, this year in the NBA Draft, where players are selected from high school and college to play in the National Basketball Association, this year one of the top talents is a young player who played at UCLA last year. He's the son of a former professional athlete, LaVar Ball, who you see on the screen. His son is Lonzo Ball, and his son, about to be drafted into the NBA, possibly as the number one pick, now has a shoe put out by this family, and it's attracting a lot of attention because one of the shoes is priced at $495. $5 under 500. And think about basketball, a game of 5-on-5. Anyway, what I'm going to show you is what's really behind this and how this is a marketing campaign, not really that is the idea of the Ball family. They're just the family that's being chosen to promote it. This is an experiment to see how the masses respond to such a shoe. You know, people say they like the shoe. It's from a family. It's not a big corporation, but it has this luxurious price. This is all a big marketing gimmick to see how many people they can dupe into coughing up this money for this shoe. And we already live in a world where shoes are way overpriced and all sorts of people are barely scraping by and then using the leftover pennies they have to spend them all on things like shoes and clothes and all sorts of accessories we don't really need. Materialism. But anyway, let me just show you what's really going on here. This is all part of the Freemasonic fraternity that runs the world of entertainment and professional sports that I expose so often. So here's LaVar Ball with his BBB t-shirt. It kind of looks like 333, maybe even 322. All of that's intentional. If you follow my work, you know that those numbers are important to Freemasonry. But just check this out. The name Big Baller sums to 58. This is called the Big Baller brand. And we'll get to Big Baller brand too. It connects right back to 58 as well. But we're starting right here with Big Baller 58. The word fraternal 58. The word Freemasonry 58. Secret Society 58. Solomon's Temple, which is what Freemasonry, its history, its teachings are largely based in. Solomon's Temple, so crucial to Freemasonry. Freemasons, they refer to themselves as craftsmen. There's a whole lot more 58 that goes with Freemasonry. Jerusalem's 58. Freemasonry is based in Jewish history, the Old Testament. Rosicrucian equals 58, what modern Freemasonry has its roots in. Rose Cross equals 58, what Rosicrucian stands for. So much more. We just saw Donald Trump win the 58th presidential election. He became number 45, but he's only the 44th person to be president. In ancient Israel, which Freemasonry is based in, there were 44 kings. Donald Trump, the 44th king of America, the way we count him. Remember, George Washington wasn't really number one. He was a 33rd degree Freemason, and we count him as number one, though. Freemasonry, historically very significant. Freemasonry is what has built this nation and a lot of the things that have come out of this nation, including American basketball, American baseball, American football. I imagine that football worldwide, what we call soccer, was also created by Freemasonry. There's a reason there's 11 on 11, 22 men on the field. That's called the master builder number in numerology, and the Freemasons, master builders. Solomon's Temple, the most magnificent structure of its time. So for another 58, Big Baller brand sums to 271, which is the 58th prime number. You know? This is not coincidence. This is all repetitive. This is how all of these company names around us are coined. Look at how they spell Under Armour. Have you ever noticed how Under Armour is spelled before? How they stick that U in there? Under Armour, 58. Remember the story of the man climbing Trump Tower last summer? That was a 58-story building. It was the 58th presidential election. Donald Trump announced he was running for president in the 58th election from that same 58-story tower. Anyhow, the numbers that are in these logos, in these names, not coincidental. Nike has gematria of 39, which is the reflection of 93, the number for Saturn, the keeper of time, which is so important to Freemasonry. Oregon, where Nike is headquartered, is the 33rd state. The word planets equals 33. All three of the modern planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, well, they say Pluto's not a planet anymore, but all three of them were discovered in modern times, all on dates with 33 numerology. Anyway, that's a side point. But 33, that number of Freemason obsession, NASA, established in 58, run by Freemasonry from the beginning up to the present. Anyhow, Nike, their symbol, the swoosh, is supposed to be a ring of Saturn. Nike 39. Oregon's date of establishment is also a date with 93 numerology. One of the only states, if not the only state that is. Nike. Under Armour, big baller brand, and we could go down the line. Freemasonry is running the whole show. So, let's transition to a few more things that are interesting. I wanted to see when his son was born, because we know these Manchurian families, that farm out children for sports. We're looking at it, the Ball family. Think about it, basketball, Ball last name. It doesn't get any more Manchurian. Well, maybe Jake Dick Butt, or Ha Clinton Dix, or Dakota Fag, or Timothy McVeigh playing on the Army team. Anyway, if you don't know what I'm talking about, these are all college player athlete names. Some of them have made it to the pros. Timothy McVeigh, who blew up the Oklahoma City building, playing as the running back for Army. Anyway, Lonzo Ball, I wanted to see when his birthday was. And I looked, and I said, oh, wow, he's born October 27th, the same day the city of Philadelphia was established, who's likely to have the number one pick this year. I suspect that whatever pick Philadelphia gets, that's where Lonzo Ball's going to end up. Philadelphia won the first pro basketball championship in the history of the NBA. It was the BBA. That was the 46-47 season. They defeated the Chicago Stags. Anyhow, so many basketball riddles are tied through Philadelphia. Philadelphia, big NBA city. Last year they had the number one pick. We saw the number one pick, the man he went to the draft with. He was killed, supposedly in a hit and run, just hours later. Again, these sports leagues, they're full of ritual sacrifice, murder, all sorts of things that are sick, corrupt, and the fans of these leagues need to know about it. So anyway, Lonzo Ball, same birthday as Philadelphia. What do you know? In case you're new here, tell you something that's very cool. Watch this Sumerian gematria and English ordinal. They're going to be the same when I type out these names. Michael Jordan, 113,678. Kobe Bryant, 113,678. And again, just to make sure you saw that, Michael Jordan, 113,678. Kobe Bryant, 113,678. Notice Kobe Bryant also sums to 58. We'll get to that in a second, but I want to talk about 678 right here. From the day Michael Jordan played his last game as a member of the Washington Wizards, he was playing in Washington, D.C. He played his final game against Philadelphia, which is the original nation's capital. Philadelphia is the city Kobe was born in, where he played at Lower Merion, wearing number 33. From the day Jordan played his last game to the day Kobe played his last game against the Utah Jazz, I want you to see this. Utah Jazz, same thing, 113,678. From the day Jordan played his last game to the day Kobe played his last game, exactly to the day, 678 weeks. 678 weeks. And on that same day, the Warriors, they beat the Bulls and Jordan's win record. Remember, the Bulls had the record 72 wins, 10 losses. The Warriors eclipsed it, going 73-9. And if you paid attention, last year the Bulls played their last game against Philadelphia, and Philadelphia finished 10-72. The reflection of 72-10. The same year the Warriors beat their record. And if you go back in time, the year Jordan set that record, his 73rd game of the season, 73rd game was against Del Curry, the father of Steph Curry, who would later beat Jordan's record with 73 wins. And not to mention Klay Thompson was on that team, who's also the son of a former player. Now, if you go back and look, on the same day the Warriors beat the Bulls' win record, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry set a new NBA record for two teammates and three-pointers made, and they made exactly 678. Exactly the same number. None of this is coincidental. This is all proof of what I am exposing on the daily, have been for years. Your professional sports are scripted. In the world of the NBA, they're truly using technology to ensure shots go in or stay out, to make sure that every score is perfect, every stat line is perfect. The time I've been saying this, the evidence has built and built and built. We have the video evidence, we have the ongoing scores, the repetitive patterns, the things like this. Before this happened, I already explained this was going on, and just as time goes on, the point gets proven further and further. Now here I want to go back to, first notice Utah also has the gematria of 58. This is a very special number in America. Kobe Bryant sums to 58. You know, we started this with Big Baller Brand. Think about how Kobe's out in LA, LaVar Ball playing in UCLA. Los Angeles Lakers also has this gematria of 58. Kobe had his retirement ceremony April 18th, 2016. In numerology, this is a date that sums to 58. 4 plus 18, 22, plus 20, 42, plus 16, 58. Kobe Bryant, 58, had his retirement ceremony with the Los Angeles Lakers, 58, on a date with 58 numerology. Then 3 days later, April 21st, do you remember what happened? Prince died. And you're looking at the guy who said in February why Prince better watch his ass. He's going to be the next person we read about dead after the death of Vanity just before the 58th Grammys. Vanity, his former girlfriend, dead before the 58th Grammys. Check out the gematria of Purple Rain, 58. Now remember, Prince is from Minnesota, where the Lakers are originally from. Remember last year on June 1st, there was a shooting at UCLA, supposedly. I put out a video the day of, and I said this is a bogus news story, this is false flag propaganda, this is your police, your media, your government selling you out. In the middle of an institution where people pay way too much money to learn, you know, they have this inconvenience, this scare, this threat contrived. I put out a video, June 1st. Excuse me, Truth Seeker. It's allergy season up here, so you'll see me sneezing whenever I do videos for a while. But what I said, June 1st, 2016, go back and watch the video. I said this is a false flag. This is a tribute to the Lakers, who've won 16 NBA championships on June 1st. Finals equals 61, 6/1. The Lakers have won 16 championships. You can write June 1st, 1/6. And I said, watch, there's even a riddle here with Minnesota. Go back and watch the video. What happened the next day or 2 days later? They put out a news story saying the killer at UCLA had traveled from Minnesota. You know, people who still come to my channel and try to cast doubt, you have to realize in the comments I have people who just comment on every video to cast doubt right away. The reason this is done is because they know so many people don't even watch the videos, they just go through the comments and make an opinion that way. You know, for those of you who watch videos that way, who go through the comments to get a gist of the video, that's the stupidest thing you could ever do on YouTube, because YouTube is full-time monitored, there's paid-for trolls, and the best work gets slandered. The video I put out last night about the FBI, that video is over 40 minutes long, and I was blown away that it had over 1,000 views in about 15 minutes. Of course, I haven't put out a video for a week, so a lot of people were probably waiting. But look at the video today. This morning, 8 hours later, it says it has 1 8.4 thousand views, meaning it got 400 more views in the last 8 hours it was up when it had 1,015 minutes. Anyway, what I put out on this channel is truth. You know, so many people want to come here and say, how come you never predict anything? Or can you predict anything with this knowledge? It just drives me nuts. All I do is predict things and have my predictions backed up left and right. You know, from the beginning I taught this skill and I said, just watch. If you apply the code, you'll see that it's the same repetitive patterns again and again in this media. And that's been absolutely true. One more thing real quick about Kobe and Philly. Kobe equals 33, just like Michael. Michael's 33. Kobe and Michael, whole lot of 33 in their careers. Go back and watch when Kobe was 33. It's been years now, but there was a debate between Stephen A. Austin and what's the other guy you used to always debate with? Skip Bayless. Go back and watch their segment. It's still online. Who's the best at 33, Kobe or Jordan? All of this stuff is just ritual. Think about how Michael won 3 and then won 3 more. NBA Finals 33. 33 years after the Philadelphia 76ers last won an NBA championship, we saw Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins drop dead by the numbers. You know, go back and watch my videos on those. The death of Moses Malone was all synced up with the Jewish calendar. And that's the final point here, or close to the final point. David Stern, who became the commissioner in '84. The name Stern means star in German. Notice star sums to 58. David Stern, when he became commissioner in '84, said, the NBA is not about basketball, it's about building stars. Kobe Bryant, Big Baller Brand, and so much more. All right, so closing points. I noticed the name Lonzo sums to 82. He's Lonzo Ball, playing basketball, the 82-game season. It also made me think about how Philadelphia was established in 1682. If you've never seen my work on Philadelphia, there's a million very interesting things about this establishment date. Also, the draft lottery will be this year, May 16th, 2017, date with 58 numerology. 58. Big Baller Brand. Is he going to be the number 1 pick? I'm interested to see how they're going to go with this narrative. A lot of people think Lonzo Ball is going to be a fit in the NBA, play well right away. I haven't, honestly, you know, that's the comical thing. I pretty much called the college basketball championship dead straight from the beginning, said why I liked North Carolina this year and why I liked it over the Jesuit school, and if there was ever a year for Gonzaga, this was the year. I showed how in past games, North Carolina and Gonzaga seemed to foreshadow this year's championship. Anyway, I made that prediction without watching a single college basketball game this year. Just like I pretty much did it the year before and the year before that. I don't watch sports, but I know how they're scripted. And, you know, again, I don't mean to pat myself on the back and toot my own horn, but I'm a pretty bright guy and I'm also a good athlete. So I've understood from a young age that pro and college sports don't make sense. These people that we watch, they can't be the best. The way they play, the mistakes they make, doesn't make sense. You know? When I was a child, I felt that I was better than a lot of Portland Trailblazers the way they would choke away games. You know, as a 9-year-old, I thought, man, I would never do that. What are these guys doing? Why you throw that lazy pass across the court? Set up that moment for Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson. You know, same stuff still going on. Throwing errant balls to little midget Isaiah Thomas so he can get the breakaway lay-in. Then John Wall's like trying to guard him like this, like he's not even trying to touch him, and he lets him lay it in. And people are watching this stuff thinking it's real. It's worse than the WWE. The WWE looks 10 times more realistic than the NBA, the NFL, the MLB. In the MLB, they just forget how to catch fly balls in the World Series and stuff. What should have been a routine out's a leadoff in the park home run. Oh. Anyway, it's all a joke, you guys. You need to wake up. You know, you just saw Isaiah Thomas supposedly lose his tooth in a highlight that doesn't make any sense. Go watch it. You can see how staged it is. That same night in the WWE, you got the Celtic Warrior losing his tooth, or the Celtic Warrior kicking out the tooth of the other wrestler. I'm ranting, truth seekers, but here we go. Let's get to this $495 shoe price. $5 less than $500. If you write out 495, it sums to 119. like all-seeing eye, and that's what this is, marketing gimmick for the mind's eye of the masses. You know, the Masonic network's going to see if this tactic will work for fleecing the people. 495 equals 119. Again, this special number, Master Plan 119, All-Seeing Eye 119, Star of David, number we're talking about all the time. 495 also sums to 106. How often am I talking about how huge this number is in Philadelphia? Wouldn't it be interesting if he ends up there? Authority 106, Prophecy 106, Destroy 106, Entertain 106. Philadelphia, named from Revelation in the Bible, the book of prophecy and destruction, Prophecy 106, Destroy 106. You know, we are a destroyed people. We are. That's why people are so obsessed with materialism. I would love to see how many poor people figure out a way to cough up $495 to own these shoes. More than most of us can imagine. Materialism, you know. So many people are slaving just so that they can keep up with the Joneses. And what for? Big Baller Brand also sums to 62, like Mason, like Torah, like Elohim. The word for God, the Jewish word, the NBA run by Jewish Zionists, just like the Harlem Globetrotters once were, and it's always been by the numbers. See all these words using the alphabetic order, 62. Special number. So that's what's up with Big Baller Brand, and that's most likely also what's up with the shoe price of $495. And, you know, just to improve this study, down in the description, I'll link this calculator. You can come here and you can type in a number and it'll tell you properties about the number. Show you how it factorizes, what the sum of its divisors are. The more you study, the more you'll learn. And also, just as a reminder, it's Wednesday, every Wednesday, Truth Frequency Radio. I told you guys, while I'm gone, everything's getting kept up on my blog and on my Wednesday radio show. And I put up these videos, and I'm glad you guys watch them, but for all of you saying, man, I really wish I knew this information sooner, I mean, it's been up on my blog for weeks. Last week's radio show, last Wednesday, I told the story of Jake Dick Butt. So many people said that they needed a reminder. You guys, I'm trying to help you out. Don't be the United States of amnesia. For those of you who can't remember that I have a radio show every Wednesday night, I mean, if my work's important to you, you should know. And, you know, my work should be important to you because no one else is putting out a more clear, more coherent message that people need to understand. You know, so many people like being ruled over and mocked by this gang. That's why in the NFL there was the drafting of Jake Dick Butt. A very sick joke that had everything to do with Michigan's coach being at the Vatican. Put out the video on this last night. You can listen to last week's radio show. You know, the information's here. Don't just wait in YouTube and wait for something to pop up in your feed. It's not that hard to type in a web address, you know, get over to Truth Frequency Radio. I'll put all the links down below so you can just click there. And for those of you who always say, I can't find it, notice that below every video, there's a box and there's an arrow in the right corner. And if you click that right corner, more information drops down. In every video, I put a lot of time into the box, putting all the links so people can get the knowledge. And most people don't even use it. So, link to the show, link to the blog, link to the calculator. It's all below. Again, get on this calculator and play around. Lots of new features here. And real quick, new feature, the match button. If you click match, the way this works is all the entries in the database, it'll search for things that have the same numbers and try to find the closest results. And you can see it'll highlight what's a perfect match. So notice Big Baller, 41, 58, 68, 175. Real quick about 68, you guys. You got to know this. CIA 68. And if you don't know about the CIA, what they really do is run Wall Street, entertainment, and the things that control the mind's eye of the masses. The CIA is here to control the populace, and materialism in this world is the most effective tool. Money and materialism. But what I like to do with this calculator when I do these searches is I like to reduce the ciphers and just search in a specific field. So what you do is you just close whatever ones you don't want. And let's just say I wanted to find all the 58s like Big Baller and Reverse Reduction. If I click match, it's going to pull up everything in the database. Or theoretically it's supposed to. Derek, who built this calculator after he discovered my work, I've let him know that some entries aren't showing up. I've taken the time to read some of these lists, and I've known that words should be in there that aren't. So possibly, for whatever reason, we're not quite getting all the results in each search. But I mean, still, if you use what's here, you're going to find a lot. The tools are here, the calculator, the numbers, the date durations. It's all here at Gematrinator. Great website. Again, all linked below with the radio show. Until next time, true